In this video, I'm going to show you how I took a failing Shopify dropshipping store and made it profitable over time. I'm going to show you the website. I'm going to show you the, all the goods, right? I'm going to show you the product. I'm going to talk about the results, which is probably why you're in here. Did I in fact do really well? I'm going to break all that stuff down for you guys today. And if you're not subscribed, first of all, I don't know what you're doing. Second of all, this is a continuation of a video I made months ago. I don't know how many months ago. I made it months ago. And this was actually a site that I did not create the website. I did not create the logo. I didn't run the ads for. I hired out all the work. So it's a really interesting video, but I wanted to, take a little bit of charge on some of the website and the pricing and everything else and make this thing profitable. And that's exactly what I did. I'm gonna break all that down for you. A couple things I wanna mention, okay? First of all, I think people in the space get to a point where they just decide that they're just gonna give up on something, okay? There's a point that you should not hold on to a product, but you should be testing over time. You shouldn't just set one thing and then be like, run ads and like, hopefully it becomes profitable. Like people get to a point where like, all right, well, I'm just gonna give up. Like I'm out. Sometimes it just takes a minor tweak, and that is exactly what I want to show you guys today. Now, one thing I do want to mention is that this is a store that I originally was running Facebook ads on. I'll pop the product up here right now so you can see it. I don't like to prolong these things for you guys. This is a shovel, and we'll talk more about that. But basically I was running Facebook ads originally, and Facebook deemed this as a weapon. They cut my ads, then I went back, I told them to review it, they let them back up, then I'd make new ads and they'd cut them down. So it was like this back and forth thing that I didn't want to deal with as I was starting to scale this thing. And so, and you guys can probably relate to that, having disabled accounts. So what I did was I actually took this product, this website, went to a Google Ads company, said, hey, go run ads for this, try to make this thing work. And then we were off on our way. And it fit better with the challenge because I said I'm gonna keep hands off and not do anything. So I gave the product to this company. In the beginning, I wanna say the first couple months, I actually lost $500 at a time, like every single month, or maybe a little more than that. And I decided to make some tweaks. That was something that a lot of people might just say, give up and never come back again. But I said, no, I'm gonna stick with it. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump right into my computer and show you the website, break everything down for you guys, but make sure you're subscribed beforehand, okay? Make sure you're subscribed beforehand, because guess what? I've got a video coming out next week talking about 10 winning products that you can sell right now. So if you're looking for products to sell, got a big one coming up, so stay tuned, all right? So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, guys, so here we are in the site, and I looked back at the footage, I reviewed the site, what it was before, and to be honest, I did not change that much, okay? A few things that I did change that are important to note, because it shows you that you need to experiment, you need to, make minor changes here and there. What I want to do is actually run through a quick walkthrough mixed in with the changes that I did, because, I made this site, I don't know how many months ago, I believe it was back in March, maybe, in April. I'm actually recording this portion first, so I can't remember how far back this was created. But what I do want to say is that product is king. Like if you find the right product, as long as you have these key elements with the website, you should be fine. And I know that as we move forward, as the landscape gets more competitive with dropshipping, then that will require you to have better websites, all this sort of stuff. But this site is adequate. And yes, I can get more out of this. I could get less out of this. I was really lazy with this, and that's why it's a great example for you, is just how lazy I was with this and how I was able to kind of turn this into something. Now, that's not an excuse for you to be lazy, but I just want to make that point here. First things first, obviously very simple, clean navigation, just the home about us. Obviously you're gonna have a contact us, and then I would love for you guys to have order tracking. That helps with the conversions. It just helps with customer refunds and complaints and all that sort of stuff. It's really important. I've got a currency converter up here because I'm, selling, not just in the US or not just in my native country. This is just a card up here. And then first thing you'll notice, just a big banner. And to be honest, this would probably be better off if there was some sort of a call to action in it, or there was some sort of a video attached to it. But all we've got is just, this big banner image, the only shuffle you'll ever need. These are things that I would change. Like if this was like a main site that I was building, I would change that. We've got this video. Now, the reason I have this video so front, center, and prominent is because everyone is coming from Google. Now, if you know anything about Google Ads, I don't have any video creatives that they can see beforehand. They're seeing the site for the first time. So imagine as a consumer coming to your site, and this is their first experience with you. Now, what I will say, and I'll get into pricing a little bit, is that my product is, compared to competitors, is on the higher end. And what most people do is they try to compete on price. They try to have the lowest price. So I'm sitting next to a bunch of people that have the same exact product that they're selling it for cheaper. So my website has to convert, okay? Let's keep moving on. Originally, all I had here before was just this one quote. Now I've got more testimonials down below, but I just had this one quote before. Just one guy from this Joey Madsen. Super simple, no picture, no video, no nothing. And what I said to myself was, okay, if someone's coming from the Google ads, or even if they're coming from Facebook ads or Pinterest ads or wherever the traffic's coming from, you've got to have some sort of reviews, if it's just picture reviews or it's actual video footage. Now this is a video that I found on the internet, okay? This is the same exact product that I found from an actual YouTuber. He's giving an honest review. Like, not everything that he says in there is amazing, but most of the things he says are very, favorable towards my product, and it's real. Like he says, these are things that I would change about it, but it's a great product, all these sorts of things. I reached out to him, got the okay to actually put this on my website. Just adds a nice little, if I was coming to this website, I would feel a lot more secure about it, that there's an actual review on here. Now granted, you can pay people to do this sort of stuff, but this is kind of the biggest thing that it did change, is customer reviews. Everything's about social proof. Whether it's the picture reviews, it's the likes and comments and shares on an actual advertisement. You want the social proof. That's so important. It's one of the most important pieces beyond the right product. Okay, you can have a product with all these reviews or whatever. If it's crap, it won't sell. This stayed the same. Just kind of a breakdown of everything that they get with the product. Now, what I'm focusing on here on the actual paragraphs is I'm trying to separate myself from just, multi-purpose shovel with 23 attachments. I'm really digging deep and making some good headlines, and really talking in terms of I'm a real person, and this is a real company that spent some time thinking about it, being creative about it. Again, you don't need to have this to be successful. It's just another touch to help them, to kind of spur them on to actually making the purchase. So as you can see, all my headlines here are going to be like a butter knife through brick, log, soil, not just, this thing cuts really hard. I really took a second to actually change some of the headers in here to make them a little bit more enticing, a little bit more friendly and engaging. And what you notice is all the call to actions aren't just, buy now. It's secure one today, upgrade your shovel, limited quantity, buy today, claim yours 50% off today. I've got a little glare coming in. But those are important, just those little things. Spend some time doing it. Again, if you're just starting out, don't worry too much about it. But if you've been doing this for a long time, these are little things that you can add that just give it a little more character to the website, that helps you separate yourself from the millions of other people that sell the same product. And it just helps you get that customer across the finish line. Here's another call to action. And here's another, they actually see the product. This would be something that you'd see on a product page. They can buy it, they can get it with PayPal. And then down here we've got more reviews. Now you're gonna notice that they're not all 5-star reviews. Now they're about 4.5. If you're doing this, I think the magic number is a 4.4 to 4.4, 4.4 to 4.5 review rating, because you want to have a mixture between good ratings and not so good ratings, because again, that shows some legitimacy. If I'm a company, and I'm not getting any reviews, I'm gonna try to get all the good reviews that I can. But having some of those not so good reviews, and you don't want the 1 stars that say it's a crappy company and they don't respond to customer emails and this sort of stuff. You don't want those on there, but you don't want to have 0 blemishes. Okay, don't be afraid of having 0 blemishes. So we'll keep scrolling down. As you can see, we've got the just the badges here. Again, I didn't change any of this stuff. So if I was to build this, I might not have this, just because it's kind of big. It takes a lot of space. I know it's important, but I prefer this to be on the checkout, to be honest. I don't think this makes or breaks a site, but yeah, it's pretty simple. And then you've got the email list, and then our navigation down below. So it's a super simple site, and what I do want to say, one of the main things that made a difference, okay? So there's 2 main things that you may not notice, because all you're seeing is just images and text. I changed the pricing. Originally the price was, I believe, $49.99, and as anyone that follows me knows, when I talk about pricing, I say start low, see if you can get a sale, and once you start getting sales, start to raise it up a little bit, because that helps with your margins. And don't compete on price, compete on quality of the website. And one of the things that I did was when I first initially started running ads through that company that ran the Google ads, I wasn't making any money because I was selling only $50 per shovel. What I went ahead and did was I actually raised the price up to $80 if I can find it. I raised it up to $80, okay? Now people are willing to pay $80 as I proved. I went out and I changed the price and I was still getting orders. I might get a little less orders, but overall I was more profitable because of how much each shovel was costing. Now, that's super important to note, is that stop trying to be the cheapest product on the market, okay? You're not Amazon, you're not Walmart. That's not the effective way to do it, and that's why you see a lot of people fail in the space. Now, don't go out there and charge like $1 million for something when you haven't made a sale. As I said, incrementally increase your price over time. Now, the last and final thing I want to show you, the reason this is successful, which will show the results in a second, is that I actually increased okay, so now we're actually in the Shopify dashboard. I'm in the app section. Now, the most important thing that I want you to pay attention to is two things, okay? Two major apps that I use. The first app is going to be this after sell. Now what this basically does is once someone buys one, it encourages them to buy another. You know, it's a post-purchase markup or post-purchase offer. And I can't remember the discount. I think they get like $10 off or $20 off if they order two. And it really encourages them to buy two. And so what I've seen a lot is that maybe 1 out of 4 people actually buy multiple or they buy 3. And if I'm paying for the traffic, I may as well try to optimize and try to get the most money that I can. This is a huge thing that people overlook, is average order value. The other thing I could do, it's great to sell several of one product. That's how you really start to make some margins, but you can also bundle stuff in. So I could have found something that relates to this. Again, I've been super lazy at the website. I kind of like to use an example, be lazy, just because a lot of beginners don't think through all this stuff. So I want to show you what's possible at like a very basic level. Now, the last thing is this other app that's called SMS Bump. And what this basically does is once somebody comes through the checkout, they give the email and they don't end up purchasing, I'm shooting them texts. I'm saying, hey, you forgot about this, or could I get you a discount? I've talked about this in different videos, and I've also got like a little PDF that I'll try to include, okay? I have not released it to the public yet, but I got a PDF that walks through exactly how I set those up. But that just allows you to, again, optimize the traffic that's coming in and out. Super important. As you can see, the website is simple, nothing special, and let's go check out the results. Okay, so let's go ahead and just look through the results. I want to give you a breakdown. Now I looked through it, and it looked to be that this store was actually started in July. It was the first month that we started running just strictly Google shopping campaigns, just Google campaigns in general. So for that first month, we had $1,140 worth of sales. Again, I was not profitable. I was losing money. I think I want to say I lost $200, $300, $400 at least on that, because new campaigns, again, the store wasn't optimized, all that sort of stuff. So we'll go to the next month. So this was June. The next month would be July. We scaled up a little bit because we're doing a lot of testing, and we ended up with $2,000 revenue. Again, I lost money. I think I lost about $500 that month. But I kept pushing through. I was like, if I keep testing things, like I said, those things that I changed were huge for me. The next month, we ended up doing 2,000. I think this is where I broke even. I said, okay, wait a second. We're about at even. I think I maybe lost a little bit of money. Again, we're running about the same amount of ad spend. And the next month, which is September, we scaled up a bit. This was the first month that I was profitable. I can't remember exactly how much was profitable. I'm gonna show you some of the ad spend for the last month, just to give you an idea for how much I made that month. I don't wanna spend all day going through this stuff, but that month I actually was profitable for the first time. Now, it wasn't a huge amount of profit. It wasn't like I made $2,000. I want to say it was like $500 to $700, and we were starting to get optimized. I was starting to figure out what was wrong with the website, how I can change those things. Now, the next month we had an issue with the supplier, so I had to cut a lot of the actual spending for that month, and so we scaled down a little bit, but we figured everything out in the middle of the month, and it took a little bit of time to scale back up. But in November, which was last month, we had our biggest month. We ended up with about $7,000 in revenue. Now I want to break this down for you guys, how much I made. Now, you can go on the internet and you can find a bunch of like big numbers and this and that and whatever, but look at the margins on something like this, okay? So about $7,000. Here is the Google Ads Manager for that month. I've got it, as you can see, November 1st to 30th. We spent about, we'll say $1,600. So we spent $1,600 to make 6,900. I like to be, you know, kind of modest with numbers, okay? So let's actually pull out a calculator for you. So we had $6,900, which made a little bit more than that. And then we'll subtract 1,600, which we spent less than that. So that's gonna be about 5,300 bucks. Now the cost of goods sold, I was selling this for, or sorry, I was getting this for about 20 bucks out the door. Or sorry, I was getting this for $18 out the door, okay? And if you look at this, we sold 72 units, okay? If I can get this over. Okay, we sold 72 units. So 72 times 18, we'll call that 1,300. Okay, so subtract that, so 5,300 minus 1,300 equals $4,000. Now I had to actually pay the company that was running the Google ads, plus, you know, Shopify and everything. I'd say we can take out another about $600 from this. So at the end of the day, after all of that, I made $3,400 for virtually doing nothing, and we're still scaling up. We can still make this into, you know, more of a brand and focus on that aspect of it. So there's a lot of potential to this, but what I wanted to just do is break that down for you guys, because look, well, $3,400 is not, you know, me generating millions of dollars just for this little store. For people out there that are trying to make a side hustle, look, this is what's possible. Again, you could literally copy my store, start running Google ads and do everything and potentially start making this. Now I can't make any promises, but look, it's all right there, you can see it. That's gonna wrap up the video. Drop a big like on here if you got any value at all. Make sure to subscribe. Drop hashtag winner in the comments. Next week, I've got a video coming out of 10 winning products that you can sell right now. And as I always say, until next time, peace.